This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Chamberlain, and it's the start of Derby Week.
It is an exciting time, our time to shine around the world in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I'm Bill Bryant. Here we are. It is Monday, May 2nd.
Now at 6 o'clock, swept away by floodwaters, we're tracking a search for a man who is still missing after heavy rains in Kentucky.
Getting ready for Kentucky's presidential primary, hopeful Hillary Clinton making a stop in the Commonwealth today. And she'll also be getting some help from her husband in Lexington tomorrow.
And we are calm and quiet this morning. Thunderstorms are out of the region for now. But as we travel up into the afternoon, here come some more storms. Not for everybody. We're mainly focusing on the southeast with that flooding being the main concern. I'm going to go over that coming up in just about 10 minutes.
See you then. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
Yeah, search teams plan to head back out this morning to look for an Owen County man who was swept away by high water.
And in other parts of the state, strong winds caused damage, even destroying a home. WKYT's Mike Byer is at our live desk with the latest look at some damage around the Commonwealth. Mike?
Yeah, Bill, a man is still missing this morning in Owen County after he was swept away in a flash flood. Now, within the past few minutes, we've recently learned that the man may have been found. That's according to a Cincinnati TV station. Crews say a creek beside Highway 368 in Owenton jumped its banks. Floodwaters swept that man away while he was in his truck. The man's ex-wife told WKRC that she tried to save him. She says she jumped in the water and threw him a life jacket, but he couldn't grab it in time. State police continue to help this morning. Meanwhile, over in Carter County, high winds from yesterday's severe weather destroyed a mobile home on Satellite Road in Grayson. Carter County Emergency Management says the strong winds ripped through the roof of the home and left the rest of it in shambles. A man was inside at the time, but he was not hurt. He says he's lost almost everything he owned. Now, as Micah is going to tell us here in a few minutes, we could see some more rounds of showers and storms today, which means these areas could be further affected. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the WKYT News app as well as on air and online. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you. In Harlan County, crews are working to clean up a pair of mudslides this morning. State police say two sections of Highway 38 are closed. Heavy rain caused a part of a mountain to wash away, blocking the highway in two spots about 6 miles apart. State police are hoping to have the road cleared up by later this morning, but with more rain on the way, drivers can expect delays.
In Jessamine County, high winds knocked over trees and hail damaged some buildings. Police and state workers stayed busy cleaning up the mess in the roads. Now we're told there are a couple of reports of roof damage in the county. Remember, you can stay in the loop with WKYT.com by downloading the WKYT News app.
The 2016 presidential contenders are making a final campaign push in Indiana, just ahead of the state's critical primary tomorrow. The latest polls show Republican frontrunner Donald Trump holding a double-digit lead over rival Ted Cruz in the Hoosier state. Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton is locked in a tight contest with rival Bernie Sanders in Indiana. Still, she'll be spending part of today here in the Commonwealth, getting ready for Kentucky's primary, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. WKYT's Mark Barber is live outside Clinton's Lexington headquarters to explain. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Hillary Clinton is targeting a region that has been economically depressed by the decline of the coal industry. She will be campaigning in Ashland, Kentucky, and Williamson, West Virginia today. She's planning to talk to voters about her plans to raise their income for everyone in that area that has been passed by. The former First Lady has been heavily criticized for making previous statements where she said her policies would put coal companies out of business. Clinton has since said that she made a mistake by saying that, and she is standing by coal communities. Kentucky voters will choose between Hillary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders during the Democratic primary on May 17th. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
And the former U.S. Secretary of State is also getting some help in Kentucky from her husband. Former President Bill Clinton will be making 3 stops in the Commonwealth tomorrow, including here in Lexington. But Clinton's challenger is also making a stop in Kentucky this week. Senator Bernie Sanders will be at a rally tomorrow afternoon in Louisville. That event at Waterfront Park is free and open to the public. It'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Kentucky's primary is May 17th.
More charges are likely against a man accused in a deadly weekend shooting in Clay County. 35-year-old Alicia Ty died at UK Hospital after state police say she was shot by her boyfriend, 52-year-old Samuel Cornett, on Skull Branch Road. That's near Manchester. Police say the two got into an argument, and when Ty left the house, Cornett followed and shot her. Funeral arrangements for Ty are pending. A man accused of shooting two women in Taylor County is charged with murder. Campbellsville police say the women were shot at a home near Veterans Memorial Park. 21-year-old Brianna Washington died. 25-year-old Shanitra Vaughn is at Taylor Regional Hospital with life-threatening injuries. William Cahoon is charged with murder and assault. Police say he could face more charges.
It's 6:05 on WKYT this morning, and the hours of waiting paid off for some. Hundreds of people got their hands on this year's Maker's Mark commemorative bottle. Triple Crown winner American Pharoah has his portrait on that bottle. It features the blue and yellow racing silks of Zayat Stables. Fans in Lexington started lining up outside the Liquor Barn in Hamburg around 4:30 yesterday morning just for the release. American Pharoah's owners, along with trainer Bob Baffert and Maker's Mark president Rob Samuels, will be signing those very easy-to-see bottles there coming up on Wednesday in Louisville, just before the Derby.
Yeah, we still have a flood warning back toward Breathitt County, Magoffin County, and also northern portions of Floyd County. That's the area, if you work your way down toward the far south and east, that's the area of main concern for some flooding today. Nothing going on right now, so as you walk out the door, you're going to be dry, and no problems there on the roadways in terms of any rain falling on the roads. You're not getting that this morning. Still need to watch out for some flooded roads back toward east and southeastern Kentucky, just due to some runoff from the mountains and also those hills. Temperatures this morning in the 60s. Pretty good feel. I want to show you this. The wind's coming in from the southwest. But look at what's pushing on in. The wind's coming in from the northwest, so there is a front right across the region. It's going to be tracking south and southeast as we go through the morning hours. Not only will cooler air filter on in, but also that front, the farther it gets down toward the south and east, better likelihood of staying dry on the backside. So I'd say central, north, and western areas, that does include Lexington, will be mainly dry for today. Now, this shows you the marginal risk of severe weather, meaning the low-end risk. You're talking about very minimal chances of actually seeing severe storms today. Strong storms will be with us, but severe weather, yeah, it's minimal at best. But this points out a good area that I'm most concerned about for flooding. So not only does it show you where you could see the possibility in an isolated severe cell, but mainly strong storms, but it also shows you where you can expect some flooding, because that's where you're going to have one thunderstorm after another. Not only that, but it's also going to add to what we picked up yesterday. In some of those zones southeast, you picked up 2 to 4 inches of rain. So you're going to add to that another 1 to 2 inches of rain in the next 24 hours. High winds, not much of an impact. Hail this time around, not much of an impact either. But as you head off toward flooding, that's what we're going to be focusing in on. It's right around moderate. So that's our main concern today down toward the southeast is the flooding. We get in toward your afternoon, we're going to be there in the lower 70s. Anywhere from 1 to 8 p.m. is when you can see those storms one after another for you guys in the southeast. Hal Rogers Parkway is going to be very soaked later on this afternoon. You coming home from work, kids coming home from school, down toward Perry County, Breathitt County, those areas and surrounding counties, you can expect some of those storms. But watch as you track off into the night. This is a night that we'll try to get those storms on out of there, Michelle, and also try to get some of these storms out of there for good, because we just don't need much more rain right now. Now, maybe in a few days, that's all right to bring it back in, but yeah, right now we have some flooding concerns back toward east and southeastern Kentucky that we have to be watching closely.
Yeah, and this flooding is scattered. Even yesterday, the weather was so different, different parts of Lexington.
Right.
My mom's on the other side of Lexington, and my grandmother's house, she calls me about dime-sized hail.
Yeah. The farther south you were in Lexington yesterday, better likelihood of that heavy rain, lightning, and also that hail, too.
Thanks so much, Micah. Each morning, we bring you weather and traffic together. Joining us now is Officer Don with a look at what's happening on the roads. Good morning.
Good morning. First look at Versailles Road. Some debris in the roadway inbound near the circle. They should have that cleared in the next few minutes just to make you aware of it. Other than that, overall traffic picture looks okay as we get a view of your live drive traffic and how traffic's moving. Coming in from Nicholasville, Harrodsburg looks good, and the north side, North Broadway, it's one cycle of the light through that big intersection. Now, as far as the drive times are concerned, with no wrecks in the way and that debris shouldn't really affect us for the most part. Not much of a slowdown there on Versailles Road. To Nicholasville's 15 minutes. Georgetown, coming from Georgetown's about 14 and 27 right now from Winchester on 64. We'll keep an eye on things and keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you.
All right, and again, anticipating the possibility of some of those storms rolling through again this afternoon. So just be ready.
Yes, you got to be ready.
Ready for changing conditions.
You never know, it
there.
changes like that. We were out and about yesterday, and there was a lot of other people out and about, and the traffic was crazy over near Fayette Mall, and then all of a sudden it just started storming.
I mean, you can go in an area where the wipers just can't keep up, and then all of a sudden it's dry. So, yeah, it's been a crazy spring. 6:10 our time on WKYT on your Monday morning. As you hop to it, get ready to go this brand new week, Derby Week in the Commonwealth. More WKYT This Morning is on the way.
Yeah, violence in the streets of Seattle. Details on the May Day protest in 3 minutes.
And does too much ice on your coffee deserve a $5 million settlement? The jolting details on the latest Starbucks lawsuit coming up this morning.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line. EMTs use the drug Narcan to save the lives of victims of an overdose, and the number of people needing Narcan in Lexington is at an all-time high.
So how much are you, the taxpayer, paying to save the lives of overdose victims? Tonight at 6 on WKYT.
Central Equipment has a long tradition of selling industry-leading Cub Cadet riding mowers and utility vehicles, providing you with the best of quality and innovation. Whether you're a homeowner or landscaper, you want a better-looking lawn. That's why Cub Cadet and Central Equipment work hard to perform better every day, offering you the best equipment and service. So come into Central Equipment now to see the latest line of Cub Cadet products and take advantage of our exceptional financing for up to 48 months. Quality products, quality service. That's Central Equipment.
Get ready for Kroger's Kentucky Derby Festival, April 28th through Derby Eve, and be a part of America's greatest community festival with 9 full days of local and national act concerts, the infamous Chow Wagon, various festival events, and more. Admission is free with a 2016 Pegasus pen, $5 at your neighborhood Kroger, and $7 at events.
Hurry into Kroger for center-cut pork chops for just $1.99 a pound, and red tomatoes on the vine for only 99 cents a pound. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
Any beverage connoisseur will tell you that real Kentucky bourbon has an excellent mouthfeel. Well, consider this, beverage connoisseur. What kind of mouth feelings would happen if Arby's made sauce with real Kentucky bourbon and put it on brown sugar bacon? How would your mouth feel about that? Your mouth feel pretty good? Arby's, we have the meats.
Have you met your perfect match? I found mine with a free foundation check at Merle Norman. They've got over 200 shades to choose from. Plus, they make sure your skin looks perfectly matched and totally flawless for the cost of free. No wonder they're called the foundation experts. The free foundation check at Merle Norman. It's a match made in heaven. Merle Norman, made in the USA. Your gift with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
Time to replace your tired, inefficient HVAC system? Feeling sticker shock? How does a complete high-efficiency system installed for as little as $25 per week sound? You heard right, and these systems are worry-free with a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And Fayette Heating and Air guarantees to reduce your energy usage up to 25%, or we'll pay you double the difference. Call 233-0424 to schedule your free in-home consultation or second opinion. For peace of mind, call Fayette Heating and Air.
At Hair Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day at 98.1 The Bull.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:14.
A spring day.
Yes, it is.
Right?
May Day anti-capitalist marched through Seattle last night, throwing rocks and even cocktails at police.
5 officers were injured, 9 people have been arrested, and Henry Rossoff is in Seattle now with the latest on those violent protests.
As the anti-capitalist protest got going, police set the tone. Officers in riot gear blocked the marchers after only a block. Eventually, the protesters turned around and made their way to downtown, launching fireworks and smashing windows.
Authority is the only rule there is, and they're crushing us under their boot.
Soon the police lost patience after several officers were attacked. They used blast balls along with bikes to chase the crowd down 4th Avenue past the stadiums into the Costco parking lot. There, the protesters were told to disband, and when they refused, several arrests were made.
Because of how restrictive Seattle police were this year, we could see the protesters lashing out at everything and everyone, and they even managed to go after people, including spray painting me, while we were doing some live news coverage earlier on Sunday. In Seattle, Henry Rossoff for CBS News.
Well, all in a day's work. That looks tough. Seattle police say they have collected several weapons during the protests, including metal pipes and at least 1 Molotov cocktail. Attorneys are tackling the complicated job of dividing up Prince's estate. His sister has filed papers saying her brother had no known will. The first hearing is scheduled for today in probate court near Minneapolis. Prince was found dead in his home on April 21st. The cause of his death is still under investigation.
Students in more than 40 Detroit public schools will be staying home today after their teachers were urged by their union to call in sick over funding issues. District officials say they won't have the money to continue paying teachers if there's no additional funding from the state. New on WKYT this morning, investigators are looking into a fire that destroyed an historic church in New York. The Serbian Orthodox Cathedral of St. Sava in Manhattan was built in the 1850s. It was declared a landmark in 1968. The curtain has fallen a final time for elephants performing at Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey Circus. The circus has permanently retired the animals after becoming caught between animal rights activist concerns and Americans shifting their views. The last 11 female elephants touring with the circus took their final bow last night in Rhode Island, the end of a 145-year tradition. The elephants will live at Ringling's 200-acre Center for Elephant Conservation in Florida.
All right, so a page of history turns with that change. Our time this morning is 6:17. Puerto Rico will not make most of a $420 million debt payment that is due today. Over the weekend, 11th-hour efforts to negotiate a deal with creditors failed. Nearly all the bonds are held by U.S. hedge funds and mutual funds. Puerto Rico's governor says the government cannot pay the bonds without cutting essential services. Hulu is working on a subscription service that would stream feeds of TV channels similar to Dish's Sling TV. The Wall Street Journal says Hulu could launch the program early next year, creating direct competition to traditional pay TV providers. Apple could be tweaking its autocorrect features on those iPhones. According to Apple Insider, the tech company filed a patent for a system that will let your friends know when autocorrect has been at work. It could help users avoid potential confusion and embarrassment. A lot of folks have dealt with that, of course. And an Illinois woman is suing Starbucks for putting too much ice in its drinks, skimping on the actual coffee. The class action lawsuit claims customers who order a venti are paying for 24 ounces of coffee, but ice is taking up about 10 ounces. The woman is looking for $5 million in damages. Starbucks is calling the lawsuit absurd. So we'll
drink a lot of Starbucks, huh?
Must do that. Let's see what the jury decides on that one, right?
Should be interesting. WKYT this morning is just getting started. A warning for parents. A look at the most dangerous equipment on the playground in 6 minutes.
We have more storms in the forecast, but it's only for one region. I'm going to show you where that region is and also what you can expect the next few days. Some much cooler air filtering on in. I'm going to have that coming up next.
CBS Tonight. How much do we love comedy? So much. First, the final season of Mike and Molly continues with back-to-back new episodes. And the moment not to be missed.
Do you know how long we've been wanting this? Mike, this is fate.
Then it's a special Monday Big Bang. And we're doubling our odds with New Odd Couple twice a week.
Are you sure you're not doing this just to impress me?
If you're impressed, that's on you, sister. New Mike and Molly, The Big Bang Theory, and New Odd Couple. CBS Tonight.
Are you digging a garden? Are you putting up a mailbox? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Everyone is singing praises about essential oils and trying to make their home free of toxic chemicals. Get the facts yourself and learn how Young Living essential oils can help support your family's health and well-being. Visit justonedrop.com for more information and local classes.
Come into Steak 'n Shake for hand-dipped milkshakes. Better yet, come into Steak 'n Shake for hand-dipped milkshakes at half price during Half Price Happier Hour. Weekdays, now 2 to 5 at Steak 'n Shake. The $4 menu at Steak 'n Shake, featuring handcrafted steak burgers, all beef footlongs, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak 'n Shake.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Hundreds of washers and dryers.
Greg's got it.
Hundreds of refrigerators, ovens, and ranges.
Greg's got it.
Plus, free delivery.
Greg's got it.
And a 30-day low price guarantee. So you always get the lowest price on the appliances you want. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery.
Greg's got it.
Are you planting a tree? Are you digging a swimming pool? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. Can you believe we're in May?
No, I can't.
We
It's
are.
crazy to think about. Derby week already.
Yeah, May 2nd. It is 6:22 right now.
The search continues this morning for a man swept away by floodwaters in Owen County.
And that's what's trending at this hour. He was on Highway 368 in Owenton when his truck started to drift away in the high waters. We're getting word that there may be an update on the search in just a little bit. We're making calls. We'll have the latest for you coming up at 6:30.
In Carter County, a man thinks his home was destroyed by a tornado. Strong winds tore off the roof of his trailer in Grayson. Minutes later, the wind ripped apart his home. The man escaped from the rubble and was not hurt.
Also this morning, Hillary Clinton making a campaign stop today in Ashland in Kentucky. Her husband will also be in Kentucky tomorrow to campaign for Clinton. Her Democratic presidential challenger, Bernie Sanders, will also be holding a rally tomorrow night. That'll be at Louisville's Waterfront Park. Kentucky's primary is coming up on May 17th. All right, spring-like weather set to continue today. This is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Micah?
Yeah, and you're going to continue to see that as we travel off into the afternoon for one particular area, and I'm looking down toward the southeast. Breathitt County, Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin, portions of those counties under a flood warning as we speak, and that goes until midnight tonight. We're going to add to that with some thunderstorms later on this afternoon, so trust me on this. And I'm almost 100% certain this will not be the only warning out there as we approach the afternoon, off into the evening hours, as more heavy rain is on the way. Temperatures at this very moment, we're in the 60s. And look, some cooler air is filtering on in. Guys, the front's moving through, and you will start to see that front right along here as we get into the afternoon, meaning on the backside of it, north of the front, not really any chance of any rain. So that does include Lexington and surrounding areas. But you go south of that, still in that warm sector, still where the energy lies, and that's where you can experience some of those thunderstorms for the far southeastern zones. In the mountains, if you are anywhere near the mountains, just know you have the chance at a few rumbles of thunder later on this afternoon. 40s trying to creep on in here. I mean, it's going to be pretty chilly as we head throughout the next few days, but we get into the afternoon, 1 to 8 p.m., southeastern areas. That is your best bet to actually pick up some of these storms. Flooding is our main concern, guys. We're going to be watching that in towards your afternoon, maybe even overnight too, but the thunderstorms actually calm down overnight.
That'll be good. Then a little bit of a cooling trend, really, for much of the rest of the week, it looks like. Coming up on 625, listen up, parents. Rates of traumatic head injuries on the playground are on the rise.
Yes, this story gives me anxiety just thinking about it. A new study from the CDC says about 215,000 kids are treated each year for playground injuries. Nearly 10% of those children had traumatic brain injuries, including concussions. Monkey bars and swings are the playground equipment most often involved in those head injuries. Scary to think about. Celebrities, journalists, and politicians got all glammed up for the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington this weekend.
It's an annual event this year marked President Obama's last Correspondents' Bash, which may have been his finest performance, the critics are saying. He took a jab at one of his potential successors in his final performance as Commander-in-Chief, or Comedian-in-Chief, as it were, on Saturday night. The president went after Donald Trump in 2011. This time, once he got started, though, the punchlines kept coming.
There's one area where Donald's experience could be invaluable, and that's closing Guantanamo, because Trump knows a thing or two about running waterfront properties into the ground.
The president's last laugh came as he said just 2 words: Obama out.
And then he threw his mic, right?
There you go. And Arizona Diamondbacks fans tried to set a new world record for the most dogs attending a sports event.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. The Diamondbacks teamed up with 2 retailers and fans to accomplish the feat. It happened before last night's game against the Colorado Rockies. To set a new record, 1,000 dogs had to gather on the diamond, and they were just short of about 142
yeah,
dogs,
something
right?
like that. They had 800 and some, but, you know, better luck next time.
Better
right?
luck. And as we said earlier, we were looking to see if the Lexington Legends did anything like this, and the only dogs they're going to be having are hot dogs,
That's right. But they did have, I think they had a dog night sometime back in May again. They always have fun events out there. 6:27 is the time on WKYT this morning. Hope your Monday's off to a great start.
When WKYT This Morning returns, it's Derby week. Coming up, we'll go to Churchill Downs to catch up with the Kentucky-bred colt that is the favorite heading into Derby 142.
Such an exciting time in Kentucky. Also, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $128 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $348 million. Coming right back on WKYT This Morning.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
When severe storms roll in, we go to work to keep you and your family safe with continuous coverage on air, on WKYT.com, and wherever you are with our news and weather apps. First Alert Severe Weather Days, only on WKYT.
Motherhood is a world we enter overnight. We're always there to support and love in our own unique way. Celebrate Mother's Day with Pandora Jewelry. Visit Pandora of Lexington in the Fayette Mall and discover a gift for every woman you love.
For many Kentuckians, Oaks Day is Kentucky's special day at the races. Yet until 1991, there was no garland to crown our champion filly. Then Churchill Downs commissioned the Kroger Floral Shop to create a special garland. And so a tradition was born. On Friday, the fillies will run for the lilies. A new First Lady of Racing will be crowned. And Kroger will send her flowers.
Hit me at 35 miles an hour. There's a 45% chance I'll die. Slow down to 25 and I'll probably live. A little extra speed is a lot more deadly. Slow down, Lexington.
At Central Bank,
Gray.
We like to call ourselves your friendly neighborhood financial experts because we get to help an entire community of customers achieve their financial dreams. So whether you're opening a checking account or buying your first home, you've got a team of local experts to coach you all the way.
Wow.
See what 70 years of experience can do for your financial future with Central Bank.
How many times are you going to drive off with those things?
Official bank of UK Athletics.
At Hare Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hare Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
When Dad died, Jim came home from college to help save the family business. Jim made a real difference. We grew Gray Construction from $1 million business to over $1 billion in sales a year. We built over 900 projects and helped create over 20,000 jobs in Kentucky. I'm Jim Gray, and I sponsored this ad because Washington could use Jim's business sense and some good Kentucky common sense to get things done.
Jim Gray, Kentucky first.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of anesthesiologist Thomas Young on reducing pain after surgery. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
Motherhood is a world we enter overnight. We're always there to support and love in our own unique way. Celebrate Mother's Day with Pandora Jewelry. Visit Pandora of Lexington in the Fayette Mall and discover a gift for every woman you love.
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day on 104.5 The Cat.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning start here on WKYT. Good morning to you. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's Derby Week, Monday, May 2nd.
Exciting time.
Yes,
the
it is.
bed races today in Louisville, by the way. 6:31 is our time. You'll hear from a Kentucky man who says he thinks a tornado may have been what ripped his home apart.
And search teams are still looking for a Kentucky man who was swept away by floodwaters.
Also this morning, see where Muhammad Ali grew up to learn how to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Some of us will have storms today, some of us will not. I'm going to show you exactly where I expect that coming up in just a few minutes.
And we'll see you then. And meanwhile, search teams this morning are planning to head back out to look for an Owen County man who was swept away by high water.
Yeah, there are multiple reports that the man has been found. WKYT's Mike Byers at our live desk this morning with the latest information. Mike?
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, Michelle. WXIX out of Cincinnati is reporting that the man has been found. Now, we put in calls to the Owen County Coroner's Office as well as Kentucky State Police to verify the man's condition. Crews say a creek along Highway 368 in Owenton jumped its banks. As a result, the floodwaters swept the man away while he was inside his truck yesterday evening. The man's ex-wife told WKRC that she tried to save him. She says she jumped in the water and threw him a life jacket, but he couldn't grab it in time. Meanwhile, over in Carter County, high winds from yesterday's severe weather destroyed a mobile home on Satellite Road in Grayson. Carter County Emergency Management says the strong winds ripped the roof of the home off and left the rest of it in shambles. A man was inside at the time. He was not hurt, but says he lost almost everything he owned. Now, in just a few minutes, we'll hear from Micah about the chance of more showers and storms today, which means these areas could be further affected. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the WKYT News app as well as on air and online. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you so much, Mike. Now, parts of eastern Kentucky are also underwater this morning. Several areas picked up 3 or more inches of rain. Many creeks and streams swelled, flooding roads. A man in Breathitt County says he can't even leave his home because it's surrounded by water.
The creek raised up to road level about 6 to 8 feet. I mean, it just raised right on up.
Now, thankfully, emergency crews in eastern Kentucky say there are no reports of injuries.
It's a similar scene in Floyd County. Roads are underwater and homes are threatened by rising waters. Firefighters in the David community say while the water has reached several homes, no one has had to be evacuated, at least at this point. What many, of course, need is a day or two to dry out.
Yeah, right? It doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. There's another WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day today as we track the flooding threat. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is here to help you plan your Monday today. Micah?
You just saw video from Breathitt County. You just saw video from Floyd County. You know what? We actually have a flood warning in those areas. You go off into Prestonsburg, northern portions of Floyd County, southern portions of Johnson, go off towards Salyersville and Magoffin County, and then Breathitt County, portions of that far eastern areas. That's where we have that flood warning, and that's where these creeks continue to rise, because you got to remember, you get off into east and southeastern Kentucky. Remember, that goes until midnight, by the way. You get off in the far east and southeastern Kentucky. What's over here? You have the mountains, right? So any water that hits the mountains, it doesn't just sit up on top and just kind of hang out. It travels down and down into the valleys, down into the lowest lying areas, and that's where you get these flooded areas. So you got the flood watch in effect. That's from the National Weather Service for far east and southeastern Kentucky. Guys, we're going to be talking about how much more rain we can expect, and if anybody else is seeing rain, and not just the southeast. So I'm going to go over that and show you an hour-by-hour forecast in just about 10 minutes.
All right, so stay here with us for the updates on the weather on air, and of course online at WKYT.com. We provide all the tools to keep you safe and ahead of the storms.
Yeah, because you do have to be careful out there when it floods like this.
No doubt.
Obviously. Moving on to politics now, the 2016 presidential contenders are making a final campaign push in Indiana, which holds its critical primary tomorrow.
They all really count at this point. 92 delegates are at stake for Democrats, 57 delegates in line for the Republicans. Hannah Daniels has the latest now on Campaign 2016.
Donald Trump continues to paint himself as the eventual GOP nominee, mocking his rival's chances at a campaign event in Indiana Sunday night.
You look at these guys that I'm running against now, they're hanging by their fingernails. They're just like barely hanging on.
A Trump win here would put him even closer to clinching the Republican nomination ahead of the summer convention. Trailing Trump by 15 points in the state, rival Ted Cruz is counting on Indiana voters to stop that from happening.
I believe in the men and women gathered here that we will not give in to evil.
Eyeing the general election, Hillary Clinton courted African Americans at an NAACP dinner in Detroit yesterday.
It's about unity versus division, compassion versus selfishness, and love versus hate.
Clinton is 90% on the way to clinching her party's nomination, but faces a bitter fight in Indiana against rival Bernie Sanders.
Looks to me like we're going to win here on Tuesday.
Polls indicate the Vermont senator is within striking distance of winning the Democratic primary in Indiana tomorrow. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
And Trump, Cruz, and Sanders will be holding events in Indiana today. Kasich agreed not to campaign in the state last week as part of a Hail Mary alliance with Ted Cruz. Hillary Clinton will be campaigning in Kentucky today. WKYT's Mark Barber continues our Campaign 2016 team coverage live at Clinton's Lexington headquarters. A busy week ahead, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. The Democratic frontrunner is planning to campaign in eastern Kentucky and West Virginia today. Hillary Clinton's one stop in the Commonwealth will be in Ashland. She's planning to explain to voters how she plans to increase the incomes for people who have been hit hard by the decline of the coal industry. Clinton says one way that she would expand opportunities for people in the region would be to give everyone access to affordable broadband. Clinton's husband is also coming to Kentucky this week. Former President Bill Clinton will be stopping in Lexington, Moorhead, and Louisville tomorrow to campaign for her. Clinton's pitch to voters comes 15 days before Kentucky voters will decide between her and Senator Bernie Sanders in the state Democratic primary. Now, Sanders will also be coming to Kentucky this week. He will be holding a free rally that will be open to the public in Louisville's Waterfront Park at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Now, here are some details about Kentucky's May 17th primary, so listen up. It involves everybody, really. It is a primary for both Republicans and Democrats with multiple races on the ballot. Republicans do not have a presidential primary because the party held a caucus earlier in the year. Both parties will decide their candidates for the upcoming U.S. Senate race and in each of the 6 House congressional districts, as well as, of course, a limited number of state legislative races. And there will be some local races on the line. In some of those cases, even independents can go in if, for instance, they're trying to narrow down a field of candidates for a city council or commission. So just check ahead. You may be voting on May 17th.
New on WKYT this morning, police are looking for the man behind a robbery at a Lexington gas station. It happened a little after 3 o'clock this morning at the Shell on Pimlico Parkway. Police say a man had something covering his face and threatened to hurt the clerk before stealing cash. 2 more teenagers are now charged in the murder of a Mercer County teenager.
We just want justice for Tristan. That's what we want. You know, we want the people guilty punished.
17-year-old Tristan Cole was found shot to death last month. Deputies have charged a classmate with his murder. Now, over the weekend, 18-year-olds Zachary Lay and Megan Sims were also arrested. Police say they helped the killer sell the gun used in Tristan's murder. A head-on crash in Rowan County killed a recent Morehead State University graduate. The coroner says 23-year-old Sarah Caudle died in the crash on Kentucky 32. Caudle's friends say she was in town for the annual MSU Gala. 2 people in the car she hit were injured. This morning, we don't know how they're doing.
6:40 now on WKYT this morning, and Kentucky Derby Week has arrived, and you can pretty much get used to hearing the name Nyquist this week. The Kentucky-bred 3-year-old colt is the favorite heading into Derby 142. The Florida Derby winner spent a few weeks at Keeneland before making the trip to Churchill over the weekend. The undefeated colt got his first look at the Churchill track yesterday. Very exciting, and of course there are others who say not so fast because they're going to try to win as well, so we'll see how it all goes.
It's just fun to watch all week, isn't it?
It really is, absolutely.
Yeah. So you can now visit the boyhood home of boxing legend and Kentuckian Muhammad Ali.
It almost didn't happen. Ali's childhood home in Louisville has now been turned into a museum, and it is open to the public. That home sat abandoned for years until 2 businessmen finally bought it and restored it. They say the museum honors Ali's accomplishments.
Muhammad Ali greatness didn't happen by accident, and it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen alone.
Ali lived in that home from the late 1940s until the early 1960s when he burst onto the scene as a champion boxer.
Would be cool to go see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a piece of Kentucky history.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Let's check to see how traffic's moving along this morning.
Let's check in with Officer Don and live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, no wrecks in the way right now. Things are pretty quiet as far as that goes. Of course, we're still doing the construction work on Todd's Road near Forest Hill with lanes closed there as needed, and police standing by and making sure that folks are going slow enough in that construction zone. Let's get a look outside right now, and we'll show you what's happening as far as live drive traffic and what we're seeing on traffic flow from Nicholasville. No major issues just yet. Also watching Richmond Road and Richmond at the Circle in particular to see if we're getting a slowdown that left turn lane. Right now, it's holding its own. Over the north side, no red there, and inner and outer loops of the Circle between Boardwalk and Liberty still look okay. Drive times from Versailles 11 minutes, from Paris 18, and from Winchester 25. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Of course, it is the bed races today over at the Kentucky Derby Festival.
That'd be so much fun, wouldn't it?
They have so many events that are associated with that.
Yeah.
So that is one. Of course, the Pegasus Parade and the Steamboat Race and all that to come this week. 6:42 now on WKYT on your Monday morning.
Yeah, these racers are putting the pedal to the metal in a different way. Meet the drivers who are trading race cars for lawn equipment. How much fun would this be? You'll see it coming up after weather.
Lawnmower races, bed races, we need that here in Lexington. How much fun would that be? Listen, we have a few more storms to go through. It's not for everybody, but a select region. I'm going to show you who can expect rain and who will not see rain today. Coming up next.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5.
Welcome to Body Shapes Medical, the trusted experts in hormone health. By age 35, you likely need our help. After 40, you definitely do.
Since my therapy, I can run marathons now.
I was able to lose 27 pounds in 2 months.
The more you lose, the more you want to stick to it.
Here's a fun way to control your luck. It's a game called Keno. You can start with $1. You pick your numbers, your odds, and your wager. And the winnings, well, they could be major. Just pick your numbers and hope you win. A few minutes later, you can play it again. Now play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold.
R&R Archery and Outdoors, the only archery pro shop in central Kentucky in Georgetown. For the ultimate shooting experience, the pro staff will get your hands on a bow that fits you. Hoyt, Matthews, Mission, Baird, 10-point, Parker crossbows, Genesis bows, and a full line of accessories with a service and maintenance department that can work on all makes and models of bow. And now offering group archery lessons in our indoor practice range. Hit your target at R&R Archery and Outdoors.
Mr. Lover,
I'm Mr. Lover. She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. Call me fantastic, touch me on me back, she says
You live life your way.
Smooth.
We can help you retire your way, too. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
No take me thin, no fill.
Don't you just love it?
Dawn?
Ned.
Trump?
Cruz.
Congress.
Mike Pape. You?
Yeah, Mike Pape. Unlike James Comer, who refuses to repeal Obamacare, Mike Pape will repeal Obamacare.
And unlike Comer, who's for Obama's amnesty, Mike Pape is against amnesty and will build the wall.
Mike Pape is a trusted conservative.
He'll make America great again.
I'm Mike Pape, and I approve this message.
After 18 years of hot flashes, I had had enough. My thyroid was non-functioning. Used to have a lot of trouble with fatigue. I had dry skin. I didn't sleep. My energy level is amazingly high. No more hot flashes. Body Shapes Medical has changed my life.
First Alert Weather is brought to you by Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
It's not a bad start to the morning. We go throughout the afternoon, and that's going to be a totally different story. Good morning to you guys. I'm meteorologist Micah Harris, and we're looking outside and seeing a very calm start to the day. This is what we need as we get out and about. It was an active day yesterday, as a lot of us were affected by that. I actually got struck. I don't even know if it struck my house, but it was close by, close enough to fry some of my electronics upstairs. The TV, the Roku, those kind of things got knocked out. So just got to go buy some new ones, but nonetheless, some of us got it way worse than I did. I promise you that, and you know, I'm not saying that I got it that bad, but storms will affect us again today. Just like that, a lot of lightning, very heavy downpours. We get into your noon hour, maybe a few blips down toward the southeast. And I said before break, there is one area that I'm most concerned about, and that's going to be for the south and the east. The reason being is because we picked up good amounts of rain in some spots yesterday, and so we're going to be watching for more rain traveling off into the afternoon and evening. There's 5 p.m., more storms going on down toward the southeast. Watch as we get 6, 7, 8 p.m. That's some heavy rain right there, especially when you get into the mountains and it just flows down those hills, flows down the mountainside, and just kind of lies in those low-lying areas. That's why the east and southeastern Kentucky, that's why we always really focus in on some flooding over there. And that's what we're going to be watching for as we travel off into the afternoon, evening hours, 1 to 8 p.m. That's your best bet to see some of these thunderstorms. We go after that, maybe a few showers still left over down southeast. As that front tries to push on through, by tomorrow morning, it's long gone. And then we're going to be seeing a couple of showers mix in for tomorrow. None of that's a big deal. It's more of a nuisance than anything else. But the damage will already be done down toward the southeast. So we just got to watch that very closely. Let's talk about your rainfall forecasts. Okay, so I've been talking about the southeast over and over again all morning long, because that's where we're really focused in on with a few thunderstorms. Now, these thunderstorms will be strong. There will be very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. The severe threat is minimal, I mean, at best. So it's mainly flooding that we're watching out for. But the rest of us, Lexington, Bluegrass, go northbound, go westbound, there's really not much going on today. It'd actually be a really nice day for many of us, about 60% of us. But the other 40%, look at those totals, coming in close to 2 inches of rain for the mountainous areas down in southeastern Kentucky. And that's why you have that flash flood watch in effect from the National Weather Service out of Jackson there in Breathitt County. And that goes for anywhere from the Mountain Parkway, go back toward Lawrence County, work your way down into the Howard Rogers Parkway and back toward, say, Whitley City, too, there in McCreary County. And that area points down toward the southeast, obviously. That area through tomorrow morning is when we can see some flash flooding concerns. You'll see some warnings put out later on this afternoon and evening. You just got to keep in mind, we don't need to travel through that. Remember, flooding kills more people each and every single year than tornadoes and hurricanes combined. Think about that. Okay, so we're so terrified of tornadoes and hurricanes, but not so much about flooding. Keep in mind, that kills more people every single year than those two things. So you just got to watch out for that as we're heading out and about later on this afternoon and evening, guys. Next few days, cooler air sinks on in, just a few showers here and there. Nothing to be concerned about the next few days. Friday and Saturday, Great plans for the Derby. If you have any Derby parties, it's perfect weather for it. It really is. Especially if you go off into the evening after the Derby, and you maybe have a little campfire out back. It's perfect weather for it. Looks
all
great.
right.
That sounds like a great time.
Set a great scene there.
Yeah. Might have to have me one of these Derby parties.
Campfires.
That's right. There you go.
Thank you, Mike. The time this morning is 6:49. It is top flight racing that is guaranteed to mow you down.
The lawnmower racing season kicked off over the weekend in Great Britain. Brits can ride their John Deeres in cross-country endurance contest. There's a Grand Prix and even a World Championship. Racers say there are some special techniques and tips to lawnmower racing.
It's a little unusual. It's not like jumping in a car and just turning the wheel and pedals and gears. You've got to learn how you lean, how you brake, the different types of surfaces that you're racing on.
Yeah, those don't look like our lawnmowers, do they? The lawnmower racing season runs from May through October, and we checked, and there is an official lawnmower racing association right here in the United States. If you're interested, the closest club is in Ashland, Kentucky.
And they have some of these around, in Kentucky. There's an event down in the southeastern Kentucky on the 4th of July where they have lawnmower races. So I don't know if it's quite like that, but
No.
in any case.
You know what? My mom lives on a farm, and her neighbor has a 4-year-old boy who rides his John Deere on that farm like you wouldn't believe.
Well, that's fun.
Yes, he would be talented in this race.
6:50 the time. It's 10 till 7, Monday morning on WKYT, and we're back in just a moment.
More news when we return.
Coming up, an American sentenced to hard labor in a North Korean prison tells us his harrowing story, plus airlifted to a new life, how abused circus lions were rescued and relocated to South Africa. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
EMTs use the drug Narcan to save the lives of victims of an overdose, and the number of people needing Narcan in Lexington is at an all-time high.
So how much are you, the taxpayer, paying to save the lives of overdose victims? Tonight at 6 on WKYT.
Papa, can I take the car to the party?
No.
You can't say no to any size sweet tea or McCafe iced coffee for $1.
All across America, families are coming back to Time Warner Cable for a whole new experience.
We came back for internet speeds so fast, even the kids are impressed. Oh, she's impressed.
We're catching up on movies and shows on demand just as fast as we can watch them.
TWC's home Wi-Fi is so strong, we can use all our devices at the same time.
Come back today. You'll get 100 meg internet, TV, phone, and more for $89.99 a month. And ask how you could get a $300 reward card. Call now.
Bad Boy Mowers is passionate about America's outdoors. We call it Bad Boy Country. So what's your Bad Boy Country look like? Show us and you can win. Take a shot of your Bad Boy Country, post it with tag Bad Boy Mowers, and add hashtag Bad Boy Country. Bam! Couldn't be easier. We'll send you a link to get entered to win some really cool daily prizes and a chance to win the grand prize, an Outlaw XP mower. Get outside, get social, show off your Bad Boy Country, and grab your chance to win.
My family had fun on vacation. Here are a few things we did. She went to Pigeon Forge. Lucky.
In 1934, Steak and Shake decided the world didn't need another hamburger. They needed a steak burger, so they used 100% beef. Quick seared to seal in the flavor you'll only get from a steak burger. Steak and Shake, home of the original steak burger.
If your child has been bullied, injured, or abused, please call one of our child advocates right now. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
How Southerners say good morning. Get a freshly prepared breakfast from McDonald's Kitchens.
Say good morning to a delicious sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles at McDonald's.
Welcome Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:53. It appears that a man who was swept away by floodwaters in Owen County has been found.
That news just coming in. WXIX out of Cincinnati says the man was found this morning. He was in a truck at his home on Highway 368 in Owenton when he was swept away. That was late yesterday. His ex-wife says she threw him a life jacket and tried to swim to him before he went underwater. Again, we're making some calls trying to learn some additional details, but a Cincinnati TV station is reporting that he has been found. You can stay in the loop with WKYT.com and on our newscast throughout the day and by downloading the WKYT News app.
The team of Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan is going out on top. Live with Kelly and Michael has won the Daytime Emmy Award for Best Entertainment Talk Show Host. The award at yesterday's non-televised show caps a tumultuous 2 weeks that began with Strahan's announced departure for Good Morning America. And Ripa's, she took several days off to gather her thoughts. You can see live weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on WKYT. And just announced the Dixie Chicks are coming to Kentucky. The band is adding more concerts to their U.S. tour that starts this summer. The new stops include Louisville. The Grammy-winning country group starts the tour on June 1st in Cincinnati. Tickets will go on sale May 7th. For the new dates at livenation.com.
Right now, 6:55, WKYT.com will have all the latest. This is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We're watching very closely for the development again of more scattered storms today. Some of those could be strong. Micah says he'll be keeping a very close eye on southeastern Kentucky through the day for that situation. The closing bar is up because McGoffin County schools are on a 2-hour delay this morning. Folks there recovering from some storms in that area. Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary 2 weeks from tomorrow, and Hillary Clinton will be in Ashland today. Bill Clinton will be coming to Lexington tomorrow to help with the Clinton campaign efforts. Bernie Sanders will be campaigning in Louisville tomorrow. WKYT, of course, will provide continuing coverage of the race for the White House and all of the elections coming up on primary day. Also trending as we all try to trim a little bit for spring and summer, we have a list of the highest calorie foods at the nation's leading restaurants. Some items have over half the calories recommended for the entire day, so some useful info there. The results are in for the weekend box office. Disney's Jungle Book ruled the ticket sales for a third straight week. Obvious excitement, though, for this week's release of Captain America: Civil War. It is Kentucky Derby week in the Commonwealth. All kinds of events leading up to the Oaks on Friday, the Derby on Saturday, and check out the Kentucky Derby Festival website for all the happenings. And CBS This Morning is on your way shortly with the Eye Opener. And of course, we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest, WKYT.com.
We were pretty calm and quiet early this morning, but that is going to change as we slide off into your afternoon. Anywhere from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Watch some storms down toward the far southeast. Guys, that's my most concerned area is southeast for some flooding. Flooding is going to be our main threat for today for that area. Everybody else, just a very slight chance of rain, and it's mainly dry.
All right, clearing out for the Derby.
Yes, we are.
Nobody's more up to date than you. Thank you for being with us on WKYT.
Have a great day.